Is there anything in this game that says you have to push the boulder up the hill? Honestly, everyone in chat is going to hate that you said that, but that's the first insightful comment I've read all day. That's a great little thing to ponder. This is how I know that if you wanted to punish Sisyphus, you would take the rock away. Bro saw a ramp and a rock, and he said, I know exactly what I must do. He could have just walked up the fucking hill, man, to fetch a pail of water. This is punishment? It's not punishment. This is fun. I know that you think I'm misrepresenting my position to put on airs for the purposes of humor. I have been known to do that from time to time, though I resent having to resort to that base level of comedy. I think if I was working a normal job, I would rather come home and play this than play League of Legends. I'd rather play Balatro, probably, but I would definitely rather come home and play this versus League of Legends. That's not even up for discussion. That's not saying much. It's the most popular game in Earth's history. League is mass hysteria. Kate, are you still here? Kate is a League player. I'm done apologizing for merely expressing my opinion. I have no control over the power of policy and stuff like that. I got no real power, okay? I've just got a little soft cultural influence. I don't think they designed it like this, but I do think League of Legends is a non-negligible factor in the continued erosion of society that has been emblematic of, I would say, about 2010 till 2024. It's not the biggest element of it for sure. It's just one more domino in the chain. But like, I don't see how you could play that for 2,000 hours and then walk outside and believe that your fellow man is like trying to do their best for themselves and for society. Like, doesn't it irreparably harm your worldview? Like when you walk outside, first time you walk outside, you might be like, oh, this sun is nice. But like after 5 years of playing that game as your predominant game, there's no way you walk outside and you're like, oh, look, I'm out here with my fellow man. You're probably like, fuck this dude, fuck you, I hate you. Your dentist probably plays League. None of my business because the hygienist does all the work anyway. But I do have a friend who's a dentist, and it's even worse. He plays Hearthstone. So like, I'm just saying, you know, you got to pick your poison, I guess. But in 2024, I know, it's crazy. You know, the same way, I can tell you this because I'm bridging the gap between the 35-year-old normies and the 35-year-old Twitch citizens. The same way people make a joke that, like, as a man, you kind of just get frozen in a year when it comes to, like, your music tastes. Like, for me, it's probably, like, 2009 or 2010. The same thing happens to normies when it comes to video games. Like, if you ever talk to... It comes up for me all the time because, like, I meet other dads who are, like, my age, and they play video games. And they're like, what do you play? And I'm like, here's the ultimate test. I'm like, I play a lot of indie games. Like, I used to play a lot of this game called The Binding of Isaac. And 95% of the time I get the Ozempic stare. Like, they're just... They thought I was going to say Call of Duty or something like that. And then they're like, oh, I game too. And then it's always... And I don't think this is a bad thing at all because they're having fun. But it's always like... I buy like Madden every year or NHL every year, or I play like the new Call of Duty every year. And they play like an hour a week. And that's okay. It's actually, I think it's aspirational. I think it's better than okay. Because like gaming isn't really like a hobby for them. It's like the same way you might keep like a piece of chocolate in your pantry and be like, I've had a rough day, I'm going to have some chocolate. They're like, oh, I had a lot of like stress today. I'm going to play like one level of the Call of Duty campaign. I'm like, that's the way it's supposed to be, man. They're why games are ass. They're definitely not, because they buy like one game a year and no DLC. They buy the same game every year. Look, you see how that's a League player right there. I made up a person and you already hate him. And then you got people like, the elites are trying to pit us against each other. You fucking were born pitted, bro. I made this motherfucker up. And you hate his ass. Why? Because he plays Call of Duty? He spends his $60 a year in gaming on Call of Duty? And you spend it on fucking 5 pulls in Genshin Impact? Aren't we also making up the league guy? Well, I like it's not a real guy, but many people who play League will tell you that they are that person. Just because I don't know who it is, like I can't put a name to them, that doesn't mean they don't exist. Like I don't know any fucking members of the Trudeau cabinet in the House of Commons, but that doesn't mean those motherfuckers don't exist. They're there in Ottawa. I don't know, like 80 days a year or whatever, doing their best. Hold, 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 hold. No. Deserve for the straw man. All I'm asking you to do is respect your fellow man. The fact that you feel so aggressive about that, I mean, I think it says something more about you. But I don't blame you. I don't know what I blame, honestly. At some point, I blame you. When someone's like an asshole, I'm not saying you are being an asshole. When someone's an asshole and they're like, look at the world around me, can you blame me for being an asshole? I'm like, how old are you? You're 21? I can't blame you. You're still working this shit out. But if I look at your Twitter profile and you're like proud Gen X born 1979, I'm like, I blame you. I don't expect you to save the world, but you could, you know, maybe like work on the immediate environment surrounding you that's poisoning your mental. You gotta start, you know, taking a little bit of responsibility. You gotta at least listen. If the world's fucked, you're not making it any better by being mean to people. You might make it a little bit better by being nice to people. You know, it's not gonna get public health care passed or anything like that. But you know, you make a mistake when you're driving. Instead of honking at the dude and giving him the finger, you give him like a, you know, like a knowing nod. That's like everybody makes mistakes. That guy's less stressed out. He doesn't get into a horrific fatal car accident on the way home. Leave his family without a breadwinner, and then like the kid grows up to be like a Twitch streamer or something like that. Like you've just from that one action, the butterfly effect, you've saved. What's our viewer count right now? I'm gonna guess like 9,200 people from being damned. 13,000? What the fuck? For Sisyphus? All Sisyphus needed was a damn ring light, man.
Took my bike to the lake. Brought my shovel, brought my rake. Took my boy to the swing. Let him swing, let them ring. Bought my friends Italian beef. Make them fart and make them queef. Abraham Lincoln was governor here. Only a steel man can be enough. You know what I'm talking about? Sufjan Stevens?